morning, friends. Hello and welcome to my naked face. Let's drink some coffee, put on some makeup, and geek out about musical theater. Today, just in time for Halloween, we're going to be doing a tutorial on Regina George's Halloween look and a deep dive into Mean Girls the musical. Today's video is sponsored by Backstage, so we'll talk about them a little later. Question of the day: what is your favorite Halloween costume you've ever worn? Do you have one that sticks out in your mind as especially awesome or funny or ridiculous or insane? Tell me about it in the comments down below. I'd have to say for me, not a Halloween costume, but just like I think a rehearsal dress-up day or something. The theme was Disney characters, so everyone came as like princesses and superheroes, and I showed up as the Pixar lamp. So yeah, that's pretty great for me. Now, if you've seen me do my makeup a number of times, you might notice that the eyeshadow shades and placement are not what I typically do. I usually do a shimmery neutral pink or champagne on the lid. Today we're doing matte brown, and that's because I'm trying to replicate what Renee Rapp does as Regina on Broadway. Now, I definitely take some artistic liberties elsewhere in the look, so it's not just an exact show replica tutorial. Anywho, let's talk about musical theater. So something that I love about Mean Girls, and something that I think they do so masterfully in the show, is vocally differentiate the characters. I think that it's important for a show to have a cohesive sound, unless the show is specifically trying to make a statement with the lack of unity. But I feel like Mean Girls find such a great balance in giving each of their characters a distinct sound while still remaining parts of a whole. You know, especially in an ensemble piece like Mean Girls, really defining those characters through the music is a great way to ensure that they don't get lost in the shuffle. You've got effectively, 7 leads plus supporting characters, so every moment spent with a character needs to be used efficiently because you just don't get that much time with each of them. Also, I'm taking that darker neutral brown eyeshadow and I'm focusing that on the outer third of my crease, really pulling that up into a wing or cat eye shape to kind of give my eye a little more structure. But yeah, I love how the music in Mean Girls really reinforces each of the characters' personalities, and it's so wild to look at other shows and realize that they're not necessarily doing that. Like, there are so many different shows that the music could kind of be recycled or repurposed between characters with just, a key change or a lyric change. And that's not the case with Mean Girls at all, because each of the characters sounds so different. Janice has a contemporary rock sound, Damien is classic Broadway, Katie sounds like an Alan Menken Disney princess, but I think where this best shines is with Regina's songs. First off, the fact that she doesn't even have a solo song until, more than halfway through Act 1? Someone Gets Hurt is track number 10 on the cast recording, which is comparatively pretty late story structure-wise. You usually get a real villain song much earlier in the story, which I guess you could argue that Meet the Plastics, which sits at track 4, fulfills that spot, but you don't really learn much about Regina. In fact, it's more world building than anything. It's just setting up this high school hierarchy that Katie and the audience have been thrust into. And I think that's such a cool choice to make the audience wait to hear Regina. They're using the story structure to reinforce Regina's hierarchy and where she sits on the food chain. It's like she's fashionably late to her own show, or she's royalty, and everyone else is simply early. A la Princess Diaries. God, I love Julie Andrews. Also, for the lashes, I'm going to cut off the outer third so that the lashes are a little bit smaller, a little more wearable, and a little more tapered. And this is actually something that you can see in those close-up selfies that Renee posts. The lashes she wears aren't anything crazy. In fact, they're just really tapered and kind of fluttery and winged out, which I don't think I have any in that style, so I tried to retrofit the ones I had to fit hers a little better. Anyway, Regina's power extends past story structure. It's the actual material as well. Every time Regina speaks or sings, it's so controlled and powerful. Yes, she's belting and riffing her face off, but it comes from a place of power, not from yelling to be heard. So many times when a character sings big, it's for a big emotional reason. Think Astonishing from Little Women, Dead Girl Walking from Heather, She Used to Be Mine from Waitress, you get the picture. But Regina sings big all the time, but it's performed in a way to make it seem effortless from a character perspective. It creates this feeling that everything Regina does is effortless, when in reality, it's insanely calculated and she's a master manipulator. I think think you can really see that in Someone Gets Hurt. Regina almost never touches the ground for that whole song. She's being spun around on platforms, carried, held. It's like she's walking on air because she's so good at manipulating the men around her. I mean, the key change, the only time she ever really pushes her power to yell to be heard, is to go in for the kill and make a move on Aaron because she wants to establish her power. She's been in control this whole time, and she's the one with the upper hand in this seduction. I think that's a really valuable piece of advice I've learned when you're playing a character who's high status, which means they have power, you know, usually like a rich or popular character, think Regina George or Heather Chandler. A lot of actors will look at the text and think, okay, she's a mean girl, she's a mean character, I'm going to yell or make the other people in the scene fear me. When in reality, people with real power don't need to push their authority because they already have it. They don't have to yell because people are already listening to what they have to say. Real quick, I'm going to take the Glossier Brow Flick in the shade Brown, and I'm going to use that to give my eyebrows a little more of an arch. Now, I normally do this anyway with the Brow Flick, but I'm really leaning into that shape so it can give me a little more definition, so it can give it a little more structure and a little more character, because eyebrows are a really big piece of your mood and the way that you present yourself. Have you ever looked at someone's eyebrows and thought, oh, they're angry, they've got some angry eyebrows going on? That's usually because of the shape, so I wanted to make sure there wasn't any softness and that my face, you know, looked a little meaner. So I love that all of Regina's music has a very powerful, very sexy Bond girl ballad sound. She's not in a rush for anyone, and she never has to talk over anyone either, which is such an interesting vocal contrast to Gretchen, who sings so quickly. It's almost like she doesn't get a lot of opportunities to talk, so she's really excited about it, and she's trying to cram all of her thoughts in at once. I'm going to jump off camera, and I'm going to go ahead and curl this hair, so I'll be right back, and it's barely curled. I did wipe off my lipstick. I was wearing the shade Seashore by MAC. Try saying that 5 times fast, because this is like the 5th time I tried to say it, because I can't say those words correctly. It was just really tacky and sticky and uncomfortable, and I know that it's more show accurate because it is that kind of bright pinky, but I just don't like it, especially not in this costume, so I'm going to put on my favorite Generation G lipstick by Glossier. I really feel so spoiled by this formula. It's completely taken over my life, and I just can't wear other lipsticks now because this is so much more comfortable in comparison. I'm going to be mixing the shades Leo and Zip, which is like their kind of nudie 90s brown and their bright poppy red. There we go. This corset is from Amazon. This necklace is from Amazon. I'll link everything down below if you want to check it out. These ears are from Dollar Tree, and boy are they busted. They were just like normal bunny ears that we tried to DIY, so like the closer you get to them, the more busted they look. Do I Photoshop these ears in all of my photos so that they look normal? Absolutely. Do you know what? I'm gonna go do that right now, so in the meantime, I'm just gonna play a completely normal Backstage ad. That is normal in all ways. Let's take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Backstage. Backstage is a great place to find your next audition. They work with companies like HBO, Shoot, someone's calling me. Hang on. Hello?
I heard you were talking about Backstage.
Fictional character Regina George?
Don't companies like NBC, Netflix, and HBO use Backstage to bring opportunities to actors?
I mean, yeah, they have plenty of opportunities, including voiceover, work from home jobs, some of which you can even audition for remotely. How are you calling me?
But you can also, like, watch free live streams featuring coaches, casting directors, wellness trainers, and other professionals, right?
Yeah, I used Backstage for years. It's the best.
So you agree? You think Backstage is the best?
Yeah?
I can't believe you didn't say I'm the best!
Oh, whoa, what's happening?
It's a 3-way call.
I'm like really hurt you didn't choose me. Oh no, okay, first of all, I didn't even know you were on the call. Second, on Backstage, you can easily create an account and filter through casting calls to find roles that are right for you. You can even narrow them down by production type, compensation, and more.
Oh, is this about Backstage? Because I totally agree Backstage is the best.
Right? It's a great tool. By the way, who is this?
Yeah, who are you?
Okay, so turns out I have the wrong number. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna click that link down below. I'm gonna get my first month of Backstage for only $5, and then we're all gonna hang out, okay? We go down to a duck pond, we bring some sourdough bread, we sprinkle. Please never call me again. Okay, that was beyond weird. Let's go ahead and roll again on the Backstage ad. Well, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on Regina George and this deep dive into Mean Girls the Musical. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Join the musical theater internet cult. cult. Because legally, I am required to tell you this is a musical theater internet cult. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you so, so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!